is up, everybody? It's your boy Big Dave Martell, editor-in-chief of the Bizarre Archives, Weird Tales of Monsters, Magic, and Machines. We have some really big announcements that I'm going to say at the end. Excuse me. But we got something we got to talk about. Before we get started, if you have not bought our books, we got a big sale coming up, man. Big sale over at thebizarrearchives.com. We are unhitching from Amazon. We're getting rid of Amazon. We'll always be on Amazon. It's 80% of the book market. You can't really get rid of it. But we are going to be doing our own shipping and fulfillment very, very soon. And on top of that, we're going to be printing our own books. And with that, the Bizarre Archives is going to go through a little bit of a transformation. We are going back to our pulp roots, back to the OG style of pulp literature. And, you know, we're going to make it, we're going to drive the price point down because unlike all of the other grifters and all of the other publishing scumbags that exist out there in the mainstream space, we actually care about you guys here. We care about our customers. We care about our friends. We care about our allies. We care about the people that also care about this art form that we love with all of our hearts and souls. And because of that, we're going to drive our price point back down as far as it can go because shipping and everything is outrageous right now. Recession right now. It's crazy. I know how it is out here. I'm living out here too. I'm not in some ivory tower, right? So we're going to drive the price point down and give you guys awesome art, awesome fiction, awesome literature that you can read that is made for folks just like you, and that is going to be at a very, very affordable price point. But before we can get there, we need your guys' support. And we are doing a whole end of summer sale. So every single Bizarre Archives book is going to be $10 and under up here very, very soon. So go over to thebizarrearchives.com. Grab yourself some books for you, for your family, whatever. Go get some. Great stuff. More books coming on the way. Check out the Bizarre Cast every single Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And let's get right into it. So, the Rings of Power. Let me bring this up here. This is really a clown show here. The Rings of Power. Or should I say, them rings of power, baby, you feel me? No doubt, motherfucker. Yeah, this is an absolute nightmare. This is a catastrophe that Amazon is going through. And you guys watching, don't watch this. I have not watched this. I am not going to watch this. I will never watch this because I do not want to give these vampires a single second of my attention, of my time. I want to give them nothing because I love Tolkien. I love the Lord of the Rings. I love the fantasy literature tradition. This is an absolute treasure. This is a piece of our identity, especially now. This is part of the modern Western mythos, Lord of the Rings. It is so monumentally important, and this is why they've targeted it. This is why the vampires have slithered in and got their grubby claws, their talons on this thing. Tolkien is the big dog, right? Tolkien is one of the giants. Of course they want to go out. They think that they're doing a victory lap on us, right? Well, it's not going as well as they would like because, you know, they keep saying, oh, they're doing so good and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Their numbers aren't as good as they would like. And on top of it, they're having to run cover to protect the backlash that they've got, rightfully so, for perverting. For those of you out there that might think that this is a trivial thing, it is not a trivial thing. It is not a trivial thing. Fantasy and science fiction and these things and cosmic horror and all this kind of stuff. These are our literary art forms. These are our traditions in this era. This style of storytelling is part of a lineage that goes all the way back to Homer, goes all the way back to the Canterbury Tales, goes back to King Arthur and Beowulf, goes back to the sagas, the heroic poetry, the ballads of antiquity. This is our version. This is our chapter. This is our continuation of this beautiful Western tradition that tells the story of our fucking people. It's important. It is important. You know, there's anybody out there that thinks it's not important, dude, I got nothing to say to you. Because it is important. There are places in the world that you go, if you did some shit like this, you said something about their art forms, they would square up on you. They would smack you in the mouth for even saying something like this because they cherish who they are and they actually give a shit about their identities. Unfortunately, in the West, people don't have this anymore. We're self-hating on all like, I feel like every side of everything, everybody has some type of self-hate, some type of guilt about who they are, and it's disgusting. Well, anyway, let's get to Lord of the Rings. This is the big dog. Lord of the Rings, especially since the Peter Jackson movies, has Lord of the Rings really ascended into the zeitgeist, into the consciousness. This is a mythopoetic story. This is a mythopoetic saga. This is a mythopoetic piece of art form that has risen to this level. And of course, the vampires, the you-know-whos, they want to destroy it. They want to subvert it. They want to make it gay and diverse and garbage. They want to fill it with sodomites and freaks. They hate it. They hate it because they hate you. They hate everything that you love and that you like. They hate everything that's good and wholesome in this world because they're ontologically evil and they are demonic and they want to diddle kids. They're freaks of nature, and that's the bottom line. So they have big piles of money. And what are they going to do with big piles of money? Because they are destroyers and agents of chaos and born of the Thyrsus. They want to rip apart and destroy anything that's holy and wholesome and good. And Lord of the Rings is holy and wholesome and good. It is sacred. It is a sacred cultural art form. So it is a magnificent piece of art that Tolkien created. So of course they're going to go after it. But don't watch this shit. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Let the normals watch it. Let the normies watch it. Let them go in and watch it and learn how terrible it really, really is. And they're facing such backlash right now. So bad that they've disabled their comments on IMDb, on Amazon. So here's the thing. We're going to get into get woke, go broke stuff and how that's halfway not true. Halfway true, halfway not true. We're going to get into that. We're going to keep it short today. But let me show you guys some of the cover that they're running on this. This is just Rings of Power, Google News here, right? Of course, they hate Elon Musk, by the way, which I don't really like Elon Musk. I don't dislike him. I just don't care, right? I don't have anything to say about him. But they hate him. They hate his guts, this guy. So conservatives are melting down over non-white elves and Rings of Power. Get ready to puke. Get ready to puke. Of course, they got this guy, right? What you doing, papito? What you doing all the time? Boricua elves. So anyway, they tell the blah, blah, blah. Amazon Prime's Rings of Power, a prequel series that precedes the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, has a cast full of non-white actors, in contrast to the Lord of the Rings movies of the 200s of the 2000s. Retard, who this? So let me see. Ismail Cruz. No, that's not it. Kylie Chung. Movies of the 200s. Predictably enough, a lot of unlike trolls and right-wing media personalities are pissed the new show is being untrue to the supposedly all-white world of Middle Earth. Yes, because it's supposed to be a mythological. It's supposed. And listen, they're just so smarmy and snarky. I just hate these people so bad. Look, he goes. Flash forward to this weekend in the year of our Lord 2022, and they're melting down over the idea that the woke casting of non-white elves and dwarves in a fictional fantasy world is checks notes, historically inaccurate. Yeah, you stupid cunt. Because when you create a fantasy world, it has to be coherent. It has to follow order. It has to make sense. Things in there have to make sense. You can't just have some gonzo bullshit going everywhere that you want it to go, and then it becomes incoherent because that breaks immersion. All art is fantasy, and all fantasy is immersion. If you don't have these coherencies that make a solid, coherent story, then it breaks immersion, and it's not good art, you fucking cunt. That's how. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear. I'm trying to get my swear in, but this angers me. Stupid bitch. Let's go here. So the social media blast posts and the show for inclusivity are endless, all comically outraged by non-Snow White elves and want to. Who's paying this bitch, right? Who's paying this bitch? It's just terrible. But they're all like this. They're all like this. They're going, oh, of course, they can't get over Elon. They have a hard on for this guy. This guy could just he can't even fart in an elevator without them getting all horned up about him. Yeah, Polygon. It's Rings of Power, Elf Servants, fuck me all the way. Yeah, what a nice, like, kids can click on this, right? All of my videos are rated or are set not for children, so I can curse and swear and be a scumbag and have a potty mouth, and they don't find me, right? I purposely make sure my content isn't accessible to children. But right here, all you have to do to find this foul mouth scumbag Polygon. What a disaster they are. What a bunch of slime balls. Yeah, having the F word in there. No class. They just have no class. Oh, brother, Elon Musk has issues with of course, half of this stuff is jerking off about Elon Musk. They just can't get enough. Amazon's The Rings of Power is not for purists or racists. Let's see. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's wonderful. Oh, let's see here. Yeah. So these guys are it's just article after article. You're a racist. You're a troll. It's not even that they made a piece of crap. They can't admit that they made a piece of crap, and they won't because they know they made a piece of crap because they purposely made a piece of crap. But here is the backlash over it, right? When the population is rightfully angry that they have desecrated a beautiful, beautiful cultural art form, piece of art, a magnificent piece of art. When they've desecrated it, turned it into garbage try to make shekels off of it. When they've done all of this, the backlash, you have to be labeled a troll. You're a racist troll. Next, they're going to start giving pathologies out, like saying that you have mental illnesses, you have social disorders if you don't like what they put out, because they can't handle it, because they're universalists. Universalists, in order for them to be have a universalist ideology, in order for them to have a universalist Weltanschauung, it means that there is one universal truth, and that anything outside of that universal truth is evil and must be destroyed. And the bottom line is they need to retcon history. They need to shape everything that came before it that isn't in line with it to their universal truth. And that's it. That's all there is to it. If you're not with them, you're against them. And they have to consume all of everything. They will feast and consume and devour until nothing is left. And because here's the deal. When you have a universalist worldview and have a universalist Weltanschauung, anything that exists outside of that disproves your worldview, right? It disproves your worldview. You have one universal truth. If there's any other type of truth, your universal truth falls to pieces, and you can't allow that. So you have to lie, and you have to cheat, and you have to steal, and you have to propagandize, and you have to re-envision, and you have to do this kind of stuff in order to maintain the integrity of your worldview. And that's just the way that it is here. Let me check out the comments here. Yeah. So anyway, go back to the Rings of Power. This is a disaster, right? This is a disaster. They can't even, they're literally paying these, which by the way, these journo scumbags, they don't even like really make that much money. Like if you saw how much money these journos made, you would laugh, right? Your average welder or pipe fitter or Jimmy Joe Jerkoff that came and built your porch, that guy makes more money than these journo scumbags, especially at money that they take home after their bills of living in these coastal urbanite shitholes, these hives. They pay ridiculous money for their living. They make next to nothing. They live in abject poverty, these people, right? And their only payment in life is they get to get a banana sticker for mocking the working class and mocking the people, mocking the folk at the behest of the machine, right? Yeah. Notice me, senpai. Please notice me, daddy machine. I made fun of I mocked and ridiculed and treated poorly the poor people again for you, right? That's what they do. That's what they get their rocks off on. They're Machiavellian, right? These are just demonic, rotten, spiritually corrupt people that get a hard on and get their rocks off. Not they don't even like. This is how little integrity that these people have. Like Hitler could come out of the ice, right? Come out of cryogenic freeze, become the ruler of the world, right? Could become the ruler of the world. And they'll bitch and moan for a few weeks, and then they'll fall right in the line, and then they'll become pro-Hitler. And they would love Hitler. And anybody talks bad about Hitler, they would run these articles about them. They literally only care about getting an opportunity to inflict their cruelty and to look down on somebody because they themselves are weak. They themselves are scumbags. So this is what they get their rocks off on. So they could get paid chump change to live in these literal sardine cans in these urbanite hellholes and eat takeout garbage every single night and be fed antidepressants and SSRIs because their lives are trash, right? They don't make no damn money. They don't make shit. They don't do shit. And they don't have shit. And they don't care because they get to be mean to you and mock you and laugh at you. It's Machiavellian. That's how these people are. So anyway, this is how bad that they're doing, that they have to literally run cover. So let's talk about the go woke, go broke thing. Go woke, go broke is halfway true. Halfway true. It's not all the way true. You know, you get your regular conservatives, oh, go woke, go broke, and they think it just applies to everything from your mom and pop shop down the street that puts a tranny flag out front to international conglomerate corporations like Nike and Google, and they think that anybody that does it is going to, and it's just not true. That's not true. What is sort of halfway true is, first of all, let's talk about Amazon. Let's talk about Google. Let's talk about the big corpos, capitalists, right? That put rainbow flags on their stuff in the summertime and put Black Lives Matter on the new Madden game, right? Remember that? The new Madden game had the Black Lives Matter. That's hilarious. Yeah, and they think they're fighting the system. This is the eternal liberal thing, is they are constantly punching up at ghosts while they themselves are in the thrones. That's it. They're constantly like, they cannot let go because they're universalists, right? They're completely detached from reality, right? The entire ethos of their worldview is that they are liberators, like liberation philosophy, right? They liberate everybody around them. They liberate themselves from this oppressive, the mean religious, traditional, whatever. That's what their whole ideology is. So when they become the tyrants, they can never, ever admit, they can't even understand or fathom. It's not even like they're, most of them aren't even like being dishonest. They just don't understand that they're in charge now. They don't understand it. They still think that they're liberators, right? They still think this. So they can't, they're just like, they're just so detached from reality that they can't admit that they're doing this. They don't even, they can't even like fathom in their head that they are. It makes no sense to them. It'll short circuit their brains. Go against everything that they understand about the world. That's how these people are, right? So when we talk about where was I going with that? So when we talk about go woke, go broke, right? Talk about go woke, go broke. We have this thing called ESG that's going on. It's like environmental, social, whatever, blah blah blah, right? It is this score, and you can go watch my buddy Mike, my co-host, Culture Dads. He runs he made an excellent video on this about the ESG score. It's called "Is Capital Woke?" Highly suggest you go watch that. So what he explains is this ESG score, effectively BlackRock, Vanguard, these big banking funds, right? These big banking organizations, they funnel money, effectively welfare bucks, ESG welfare bucks, to all of the corporations that bend a knee to this like list of rules, and they funnel all of this money there. It's effectively just like welfare from the bankers to the corporations when they put up rainbow flags and they say, oh, we're inclusive, et cetera, that they're lots and lots more money than everybody here listening right now could like fathom combined. Like, think in your mind of the largest amount of money possible. Now combine that with everybody else that's watching right now, that listens to this video, and then times it by 1,000. and it's still more money than that. That's how much money they do, because they have an algorithm. They have a program, a software, right? An algorithm that does automated investment. It's called Aladdin, BlackRock Aladdin. It is an AI that prints money. They have infinite money, infinite resources. They never run out. They will never run out. So they just funnel billions and billions and billions of dollars down the chute to these big corporations to do this. So no, Marvel Studios will never stop making woke stuff. Marvel Studios will never stop making woke stuff. Amazon will never stop making woke stuff, right? None of these corporations will ever stop making woke stuff because here's the thing with capitalists have no soul. They will do whatever makes them more money. If what you would need to happen is you would need state governments to step in and say, any corporation company that participates in this ESG program with BlackRock or Vanguard, you will be punished. Either like a big peepee way, we send guys in black coats to come to your house and beat you with canes, or like just economically, you pay these big giant taxes if you participate in this, because the ESG score is unelected officials afflicting and influencing our population, which undermines our social and ethic and all of this kind of it undermines and subverts our people, and is it against our interests as a nation. So we are banning anybody, or we are punishing anybody, or we're just going to beat people up and throw them in wood chippers. Whatever they decided to do, that's what would need to happen for this to stop. But and maybe there'll be like some base governors here in the States that do it, or maybe like some based countries over in Europe that do it and say that you're not allowed to do that. But for the most part, there's no end in sight for that. But here's the white pill. Here's the white pill for this, right? The white pill is, one second here, environmental and social governance. That's right, Sifu. So let's talk. What are we going to talk about? What was I just talking about? As I'm getting older, my ADD is getting worse. It just is. Thoughts are just falling out of my head, especially with how busy I am these days. I got a lot of projects, a lot of irons in the fire, which we have some announcements coming up very, very soon. So anyway, ESG, I remember what I'm talking about now. So ESG, the other thing that's going on, why go woke, go broke is halfway right? I just explained why it's halfway wrong. We're going to explain why it's halfway right. So in order for this, excuse me, in order for this stuff to be successful, it needs to get to the eyes and the ears and the minds of the people, right? It needs to be distributed. It needs to be facilitated. In order for it to be distributed and facilitated, it requires distributors and facilitators. Distributors and facilitators that don't necessarily see that ESG welfare bucks. They don't see the ESG bucks trickling down. It doesn't trickle down to them. With movies, cinemas, movie theaters, right? Movie theaters, there's not video stores anymore, but the distributors, the facilitators of this kind of stuff go out of business. They don't get the ESG bucks, right? Even a lot of the streaming apps, a lot of the streaming platforms, they get hurt. Right? I don't know who's out there, not Peacock or Tubi or whatever the hell guys are using now, what people are using now. But these people, they can't afford to stay in business. Because take the wokeness and the garbage and the politics aside, this stuff is just not good. It's not good. It's not like they took some like good movies and they made a bunch of like gay interracial stuff in it. That's not what they did. These people are just not smart and not talented, and they don't make good stuff. They make garbage. And and watch this. As the Rings of Power goes along, now you have a bunch of, lib-toed shills, bootlickers out there, at the behest of the bourgeois vampires out there talking all this shit, mocking you guys, all of us, saying, the Rings of Power is so great. This is the best show I've ever seen, blah, 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 on their, just by their own volition going off and doing that. There's only so long that they're gonna do that. Let it a couple months go by. Let a few more episodes come out. Let people see how terrible it actually is, because it is terrible. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to watch it. But I have friends that watched it, and they gave me the TLDR and explained how amateur the acting is. I've seen clips of the dialogue. It's abysmal. It's embarrassing. It's terrible. The characters are unlikable. They're flat. The storytelling is trash. It's just a bad show. It's it's like the biggest, most polished turd ever made. And as time goes on, they're going to get bored with lying. They're going to get bored with lying. They're going to get bored with their victory laps. And who's going to be left? The people that are going to be left are going to be people like us that are outraged, that are pissed off that these vampires have stolen away and with their money, right, with their shekels, have stolen away a beautiful, magnificent piece of art that is absolutely just celebrated in Western civilization, a piece of our identity, right? And we're going to still be mad about that. We're never going to forget it. We're never going to forget it. We're never going to forgive them, right? So Rings of Power is not going to watch it get canceled. Watch it get canceled. You know why? Because people aren't going to watch it. The facilitators, the distributors of this kind of stuff. Now, Amazon has the luxury of the distributors and the facilitators. They don't have to send it to movie theaters. They don't have to send it to bookstores. They don't have to send it to these kinds of things. But let's take a look at the other types of art. Let's take a look at let's look at cinema and let's look at publishing. Let's look at mainstream publishing. When was the last time you were in the Books A Million? When was the last time you were in a Borders? Oh yeah, that's right. Borders went out of business. Right? When was the last time you were in a what are the other ones? Barnes and Noble? When was the last time you went into one of them fucking places? And if you did go in, how many people were there? I don't know. Last time I go to these places fairly frequently because I like to see what it's like because I'm in the industry now. I like to see what competition is doing and educate myself on the situation. There's a few box frame glasses, cat ladies, frumpy cat ladies walking around in their stinky sweatpants, sipping on macchiatos or whatever the fuck. That's it. And they might buy one book. These places are not doing well. They're not doing well. They're doing very badly. And that's why Amazon is buying them all up. Amazon is buying all of the bookstores. They're 80% of the book market now, and very soon they will be 90% of the book market. Because what happened was the little stores, when all of the big box store consolidations happened, and you had all of the Books A Million and the Borders and the Barnes and Nobles, and there was a bunch of other ones too. When that happened, the mom and pops all went out of business, except for a few little niche places that managed to stay in business. Outside of them, big box stores ran them all out of town. Well, guess what happens when you consolidate? Consolidation doesn't stop. Amazon started to buy them up even more. From that point, book sales started to collapse, right? And we could get into the big bookstore thing. Let's talk about movie theaters. When was the last time you've been to a movie theater? Why? Why haven't you been to a movie theater? Do you not like movie theaters? Do you not like to see movies in theaters? I love seeing movies in theaters. I can't tell you the last time I went. You know why? Because all the fucking movies suck. They suck. Nothing has come out that I wanted to see in ages. I think the last movie that I went to see was probably I admit I went to see the first Star Wars remake. The first of the prequels or the sequels or whatever they were. I went to see one of them. I never went back. And before that, I went to see the remake of the Conan the Barbarian reboot with Jason Momoa. That's like the last two times I went to the theater. And both of them were going to see franchises of older movies. Yeah. So here's the thing. These movie theaters are just closing like crazy. They're the distributors. They're the facilitators of the movies, right? They're closing like crazy. You know who's not closing as far as movie theaters go? Indie movie theaters. Indie movie theaters. Go look it up. There are movie theaters right now that are rerunning old movies. I just read about one. It was rerunning E.T. and it was packed. It was packed. A theater pretty close to me, an indie theater that plays mostly independent films and underground stuff, blah, 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 just reran Jaws. There were lines out the door to go see Jaws. Come on. Come on. E.T. and Jaws. You have it on VHS. You got it on DVD. You got the special edition on Blu-ray. You can go look it up on streaming anytime you want. Watch it for fucking free. You've seen these movies 1,000 times on TV, and people can't wait to go to the theater, pay 10 fucking bucks, and go watch it again on the big screen. The theaters, the journos are lying. Theaters are not obsolete. They're not going out. People will always, always, always love to go see good movies on a big-ass screen with a big sound system, with the AC and the big dark room and the freaking $20 popcorn and $10 bags of M&Ms and the big giant things of soda, all that. All of it. You drop $60 on snacks. You don't even care because going to see a movie in the theater rules. That's it. And you know them nachos you get there with that nasty, hot, spicy cheese? Sort of tastes like throw up a little bit. I love that shit. I'm not even gonna lie. That's like my favorite thing. I would put that cheese on. Okay. I'm gonna get into the cheese. But anyway. The Northman. I didn't go see The Northman. I watched it on after it came out. That was a cool movie. That was a good movie. But anyway, the theaters, your theater chains that are beholden to the corporations. Very recently, because I'm working on a movie. Not a full movie, but I'm working on a short film. And I like to do my research. So I called around to these theaters to see like what it would take. Like, how cool would it be if my short film got played like in the previews before another movie? If I could figure that, hey, I'll give you $100. You play this during your previews or like whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe I can find a manager of one of these theaters that's a cool guy. Well, bro, one of the boys. And I'm like, yo, dude, help me out, dude. You okay? I'll slide you. You know, that kind of shit can happen. You know what I mean? If I find a guy, I can hear it in your voice right away. If you're one of the boys, we can strike a deal and I can get my movie in front of people, right? But anyway, I called around every single theater, like within 10 miles of me, that was a corporate theater, had some dumb bitch, some awful, right? The affluent white feminist liberal, right? Some dumb bitch. I don't really know. We don't even like pick our movies or anything like that. You know, it's like, yeah, well, did you used to? You know any? I don't know. You know, it just comes from corporate. I was like, okay, well, who runs the projectors? What kind of film goes on the? I don't know. It all just happens online. I have an app. It's like that's literally who you're talking to. These like that's who you talk to when you call these places. But they'll tell you. Like I was like, and every single time I was like, so what's your business like? You have any? Well, we had 2 people and last night. 2 people on a Thursday? Wow, that's crazy. What do you think it is? I don't know. It must be the economy. They're completely unaware because these are just like 98 IQ twats, right? That like probably sucked off their last manager and got a job they don't deserve. That's probably who's running this. Anyway. So get woke, go broke is halfway true. So the facilitators, the distributors, these guys, I was like, this is going to be I'm going to do 10 minutes max on this video, right? I should have known. I can't do 10 minutes. I can't even do one topic for 10 minutes, right? Big Dave gets on the mic. It's hour minimum every single time. So anyway, the distributors, the facilitators are collapsing, completely collapsing, right? This is where the white pill is. Indie theaters, these out-of-business theaters, we could buy them up. How How much is it going to be to buy one of them things? Who are you going to sell a theater to? A theater can only be sold to another theater. You can't like repurpose a theater. I guess you could if you like gut the whole place out. They're not going to do that. They're just going to be theaters for sale everywhere in the next few years. Perfect opportunity to open up movie theaters that play based movies, that play films, like short films from our guys, play retro classics, all this kind of stuff, right? Perfect opportunity. Perfect. Bookstores are collapsing. Big bookstores. I don't want to buy them up. But what I do want to do, and I don't want to talk about it. Big Dave I have a vision. I have a master plan. And I do not want to tell anybody about it because I'm pretty confident that it's going to work. I'm confident everything I do is going to, I'm like one of them guys. It's like I might have a terrible idea. It might be objectively the worst idea and be like, yo, dude, this isn't going to work. Pfft, yeah, just watch. That's me every single time. Even if it's definitely not going to work, I still think until the very last minute that it's not going to work. Right? And then after, that didn't work. Yeah, it was all right. It sort of worked. Worked a little. No, it didn't work at all. Yeah, hey, well, I learned something. This next thing's definitely going to work. That's me right there on the money. I never think that I'm going to lose. But anyway, I'm definitely going to win. This master plan that I got is this isn't like the other things that I did that didn't work. Well, okay, so let's do a tally of the things that Big Dave does that works and don't. Like literally 80% of everything that I get into works. And it's either a hit, it's based and it works awesome, or it's that was pretty good. That worked pretty good. It worked, right? Very rarely is it an utter failure. Big Dave's not a loser. Big Dave's a winner. That's it. Not all this stuff has to do with the internet stuff or podcasts or what. Some of this stuff I'm talking about is just like stuff in my personal life, right? Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I bet I can jump over this shit, whatever it is. Especially when I was younger, it's like, I bet I can fucking ramp my truck over this fucking bridge. This kind of shit, So, yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm talking. Rings of Power. Rings of Power sucks. It blows. We have a big opportunity here. We have a big opportunity here to make our mark. As the facilitators and the distributors are collapsing, we'll be able to take up that physical space once again and flood them with our art. Our books. We could do short films. We can do comics. We can do fucking whatever you think. Music, right? There's a niche right now. People are loving physical. People are so tired of the digital. Digital media is not going anywhere. It's the new standard, right? But there will forever, ever be a nice niche of people that love physical media. And especially like these kids that are, let me tell you, I'm talking to kids now that are like Zoomers, that are like freaking 19 years old, collecting vinyls and cassettes and shit. They love it. Audiophiles, 19 years old. This kid was like born like 20 years after the CD came out. You know what I mean? like they didn't grow up with any of that shit. But they like it. They love it. So we have a big opportunity, music, comics, literature, film, to like really take this back and become like this and build ourselves up so we can eventually take a swipe at somebody like an Amazon. Right? Or like a Marvel or one of these douchebags. Because they're not making good stuff. They're making bad stuff. And let me tell you, and let me ask you guys ask yourselves this. When you guys watch a movie, even if it's kind of low budget and campy or whatever, if it is a unique idea and it's authentic and it has heart, what do you like better, that or one of these big multi-million-dollar cape shit movies? You take the B movie, right? Every single time. I would. And I know you would too. Because the people sub to me are, smart guys, smart folks out there. I'll tell you, I'm just always impressed by how smart my people are, for real. People send me messages and hit me up and watch my stuff are just like always the smartest, coolest dudes. I have very few like spurgy weirdos. Everybody that is in the Dave sphere is chill and cool and smart. So I know that you guys feel the same way I do. Something that's authentic and has heart will always, always, always have a place and will always be competitive, even if against something multi-million-dollar. It's just the way that it is. The good beats the bad, always, always. In the end, B movie means best movie. Hell yeah, based. All right, so folks, Rings of Power sucks, and it's not going to go nowhere. And they can run cover all they want. The bottom line is, say they take Tolkien from us. Say they take it and they never give it back. We're the guys, Tolkien is like a guy like us. A guy like us wrote that. We have the power. We have the magic to recreate it. We can do another one. We can make another one. You think we can't? You think we don't have anybody in our camp that's smart and talented enough and a linguist and all this kind of stuff that can write something like Lord of the Rings? Fuck around and find out. So anyway, not saying that I want to, obviously, but that's the way that it is. All right, folks, here's our big announcement here. Let me find my John right here. Big announcement number 1. Guys, let me tell you, the Bizarre Archives, I've been working like a damn dog on this. Working my balls off doing this because I want to throw the hardest punch that I can into the culture war. But I need your guys' help. We are getting ready to do all of our own shipping and fulfillment. We need to fill up. We got to get inventory. We got a lot of costs. You know what I mean? And we're doing good. We are doing good, but we need a couple months of like really strong sales. So you guys out there, I lowered the prices on the books, $10 and under for everything. I lowered prices on our merch. I lowered prices. We got to end the summer sale right here, $10 and under. So go over to thebizarrearchives.com. Have you seen any books that aren't $10? Just wait till tomorrow or something. It should change. $10 and under. Help us get off of Amazon, and we're gonna get next year. Our plan next year is to print our own books, become our own printing house. That's big peepee shit. That's the biggest peepee that is mastodonic, rising from the dark depths of the seas. Big peepee, right? That is cosmic aberration, crawling chaos, larger than reality itself. Peepee energy. That's Cthulhu peepee, right? We got Cthulhu peepee energy right now, guys. Let's share our peepees, our peepee energy with each other. Okay, enough about peepees. But anyway, it's a big step for us, and we're going into being a big boy business. So, guys, help us out. Buy our books. Let's rise up. Rise up! Pulp Mafia is here. We're about to pull up. Make these pussies sleep with the fishes. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. Make sure to go over to the Obelisk, guys. The Obelisk. I got the Obelisk. Go sign up there. Lots and lots. This is like the best Substack on Substack. Generally, I don't really care for Substacks because like most people just kind of like write these really, really long, boring articles. Some are cool. Some have cool podcasts and stuff on them that I subscribe to. But ours is the best on in the universe. It really, really is. We got, our boy Arbogast. Here's his book that just came out, Shanghai Horror. It's doing really well, by the way. Witchfinders. He has his novella he's writing. He's like our main guy here. But then, we got ebooks. All you got to do, if you sign up for the premium, go to archive, type in ebook. $5 a month. You get free ebooks. Malibdus Articulate, which just came out, Cosmic Horror, just crazy. Shanghai Horror, Sacred Times, We can send out more and more Chronicles of Raw. We send out crazy amounts of ebooks, early access on the Bizarre Archives, lots of good stuff, guys. So make sure to go over there and subscribe to the Obelisk, the Substack, obelisk.substack.com. There's a free one that you can just get updates, but there's also one that you pay. It's a lousy $5, or just it's like $50. I put it for $50 a year, so you can drop $50 and you get multiple ebooks a month. So anyway, go sign up to that. Buy books, guys. Buy books. Buy books. And help us conquer the publishing industry and steal back our beloved literary traditions. All right, guys. Rings of Power is garbage. It will fail, and we will win. So, hails to you guys. Blessings to you guys. I'll see you guys next time.